6 months ago, used sailboats were vanishing overnight, some at prices nearly 50% higher than just before the pandemic. Today, listings linger on the market for over 150 days, with sellers slashing tens of thousands off their asking prices. For boat buyers tempted to jump in, the sailboat market is quietly unraveling beneath the surface. Why are so many owners desperate to sell, and what is about to send prices plunging even further? The real story unfolds as the data and the consequences come into focus next. In the spring of 2020, a wave of new buyers hit the sailboat market. Lockdowns and the rise of remote work sent thousands searching for a sense of freedom on the water. Suddenly, families who had never owned a boat before were outbidding seasoned sailors. Brokers reported that half their clients were first-time buyers, many with little sailing experience but plenty of urgency, a surge that reshaped demand. New boat prices soared, climbing nearly 50% above pre-pandemic levels. Builders struggled to keep up, with waitlists stretching into 2023, and some models selling out before they even left the factory floor. Used boats, once a slow market, became hot commodities. Listings that would have sat for months vanished in days. Sellers, emboldened by the frenzy, raised asking prices far beyond historical averages. A marine economist, interviewed at the height of the boom, described it as a classic bubble. You had a flood of buyers who did not care about long-term value. They just wanted a boat, any boat, right now. The result was a market built on artificial demand, with prices detached from the costs and realities of ownership. Sellers still hope for those peak numbers, but the conditions that drove the surge have already faded. What remains is an overheated market, inflated by a brief but dramatic rush of new money and new expectations. Listings that once disappeared overnight now linger for months. The latest data shows the average sailboat sits on the market for 159 days, more than double the pace seen during the peak buying rush. Price reductions have become routine, with sellers slashing asking prices by 7% or more just to attract a single offer. In some cases, boats listed at $80,000 are quietly sold for $50,000, leaving a wide gap between what owners hope to get and what buyers are willing to pay. Market analysts point to a growing backlog of unsold boats. Inventory has been swelling, with hundreds of yachts and cruising sailboats remaining stagnant across major brokerage sites. The pool of serious buyers is shrinking, and the few who remain are negotiating hard, often walking away when sellers refuse to budge. Brokers, once confident in quick turnarounds, now describe a confidence crisis. Deals fall through over minor survey findings, and buyers demand deeper discounts with each passing month. Insurance companies have also started to retreat, especially from older boats. Policies are getting harder to secure, and some underwriters have stopped covering vessels over 10 years old. Without insurance, many transactions stall before closing. These hard numbers and shifting behaviors reveal a market already in correction, with early warning signs flashing across every corner of the industry. Slip fees for a 40-foot sailboat in popular U.S. marinas now run between $1,700 and $1,800 a month. Some prime locations charge even more. Owners who once paid under $1,000 a month before the pandemic now face contracts that have risen 20 to 40% in just a few years. Yard bills have climbed just as sharply. A routine haul-out and bottom job for a mid-size cruiser, which cost $2,000 in 2019, now often tops $3,000. Labor rates, environmental fees, and the price of anti-fouling paint have all surged. Insurance requirements add another layer. Many underwriters now demand out-of-water surveys every few years, and any flagged issues such as old rigging, corroded seacocks, or moisture in the core must be fixed before coverage is renewed. A senior marine surveyor describes how deferred maintenance has become a deal-breaker, not just for buyers, but for insurers too. Faced with annual costs well above $20,000, even dedicated owners are quietly listing their boats, unable to justify the expense any longer. More than 850 comparable sailboats now crowd the brokerage listings, many built during the 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s when fiberglass production hit its peak. These boats, once the backbone of coastal cruising, are now aging out together, creating a structural surplus that the market cannot absorb. Marine surveyors report a rising tide of technical issues, osmotic blistering beneath the gel coat, waterlogged core materials, and corroded keel bolts that threaten both safety and value. Each new listing adds to the glut as owners try to offload vessels before expensive refits become unavoidable. The demographic wave is impossible to ignore. Baby boomers, who fueled decades of sailboat ownership, are retiring or leaving the lifestyle in large numbers. Their boats, often inherited by heirs with little interest in sailing or faced with mounting costs, are being sold into an already saturated market. This oversupply gives buyers unprecedented leverage, and it also signals that asking prices are likely to keep falling as inventory outpaces demand. Brokers know how to keep hope alive, even as the market sours. Many listings still use language like rare opportunity or will not last long, even though the same boats have lingered for months. Behind the scenes, brokers sometimes encourage sellers to hold firm on asking prices, creating the illusion of scarcity. Prospective buyers are told that there is another offer coming in, or that this model always moves fast, despite a backlog of similar boats gathering dust. A practicing broker speaking off the record admits that they are trying to keep sellers optimistic, but everyone knows these boats are not moving at those numbers. Another tactic is steering buyers away from full surveys, especially when a boat's condition could raise red flags. Some brokers suggest skipping moisture readings or downplaying the need for a rigging inspection, hoping to smooth the path to a quick sale. These strategies delay price drops and keep expectations high, but ultimately, reality catches up. Asking prices remain sticky, even as actual sale numbers tell a different story. Distressed sales are beginning to set the pace for the entire used sailboat market. Auction listings and repossessed boats are now closing at prices that would have seemed impossible just a year ago. A 38-foot cruiser that might have fetched $80,000 during the pandemic rush is now going for $50,000 or less at auction. Boats once listed at $40,000 are sometimes snapped up for $25,000, and older 30-foot boats that sat at $10,000 are dropping below $5,000. Every time a boat sells at these levels, it drags down the value of similar models still on the market. Lenders and insurers, facing mounting defaults and claims, are moving quickly to liquidate inventory, and each new auction resets the benchmark for what buyers are willing to pay. For owners, this means yesterday's asking price is no longer relevant. Buyers are watching these fire sales and recalibrating their offers accordingly. Waiting out the coming months could be the smartest move a buyer makes. Wait. Industry veterans recommend holding off for 6 to 18 months as the market continues to adjust. During this period, tracking listings that have been reduced multiple times gives a clearer sense of where true market value is settling. Instead of rushing into a deal, buyers can watch how long boats sit unsold, how quickly prices drop, and which models are most affected. Market. Brokers acknowledge that negotiation leverage is shifting. Buyers who wait and gather information on past sales, survey results, and repair histories will be in a stronger position when the right opportunity appears. This is not a time for impulse decisions. By holding back now, buyers gain the upper hand, ready to move when distressed sellers become more flexible and the real bargains finally surface. Advantage bargains. Certain boats are especially exposed as prices slide. 30 to 45-foot monohulls, especially those built before 1995, now make up the bulk of distressed listings. Production cruisers needing major refits, like new engines, new rigging, or repairs to waterlogged cores, are hardest hit. High-maintenance bluewater models, once prized for ocean crossings, often require tens of thousands of dollars in upgrades just to meet survey and insurance requirements. A senior surveyor warns that skipping a full survey is a costly gamble. Every deal should include thorough moisture readings, rigging checks, and engine diagnostics. Demand to see recent survey reports, compare sold prices, not just asking numbers, and walk away from any sale that pressures you to rush or to skip due diligence. In this market, patience and a strict checklist are the best protection against buying into a financial trap. Right now, thousands of sailboats sit unsold, while real costs keep rising and buyer demand retreats. The next 12 months will redraw the map of what these boats are worth. When speculation ends, only value remains. In uncertain waters, patience is the sharpest tool. Share your thoughts below.